Listen to those awful engines roar. You ain't gonna jump no more. Gory, gory, what a hell of a way to die. Gory, gory, what a hell of a way to die. Gory, gory, what a hell of a way to die. He ain't gonna jump no more. Zoom, 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 zoom.
What happened? Where am I? Did I die? Is this heaven? What kind of trashy establishment are they running here? But you know what? At the very least, there's no shot. I'm wasting no time. You don't need to watch part 1, it's just me out here surviving. I don't know where I am, there are collapsed cities everywhere, and there are still just way too many blood moons. And also, oh yeah, there's factions all over the place, and they don't like to be messed with. I did survive last time, so this time, it's gonna be a bit more difficult. No creative mode flying, and day 80 is when everything changes. They will evolve faster than ever, the parasites that is. The parasite gods will walk this earth. So if you're new, cause these videos take a long time to make, and if you want more RLcraft, watch till the end. Let's go.
Considering its quality and size, the compact disc most certainly will become a part of our everyday lives in the future.
But actually, just kidding, because this video is sponsored by me. It's me. I'm the sponsor of this video. This is sponsored by my Discord. Go check it out. If you like the mods that I do in these videos, they'll all be posted on there. And also, I just launched a Patreon, and you can get some cool sneak peeks, because these videos do take about a month to make each. So if you want to help out the channel a little bit more, go over there. Alright, bye. Day 1 hit different. I'm gonna get everything basic as fast as I can. I got all the basic Minecraft tools, then I headed into the city. But I recovered from this and I headed into the city. Most of these buildings didn't have a whole lot in them, but I got some books which I could save for later. Then I kept running and I ran into a bunch of coyotes. And I don't mean like, oh, there's a couple coyotes here. I mean like a concerning amount of coyotes. But you know what? They were chill, and they adopted me as one of their own. But I had to leave them very soon after, when I found the desert temple. Yeah, it's been a minute since I found one of these. I have no idea what any of these items are, but they look pretty cool, so I took all of them. I'm sure they'll come in handy at some point. But I have a bit of a problem. Those noises I hear are very hungry coyotes. My family's immediately turned on me with no hesitation. But I'm a bit of a big brain. I got a massive cranium, alright? So I devised a trap to lure my angry brethren in. It was a hole. I dug a hole and I got one, I got a guy and I was like, okay, I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna wait until I get some more, and I'm already leaving because I got bored. Okay, well, there goes that. By the time the sun rose on day 2, I had made it to safety with food in the oven. Before I took off, I needed to make camp on the go. I had enough string to make a bed, and the cows that were in the oven gave me enough leather to make a backpack. And I'm mobile. Then I saw a castle. A shiny castle, just prime for the taking. It could be mine, just like that. And if you ignore all the people that are around it, then it's pretty much free. So I rushed in. They had iron swords, but I figured that if I kept my distance, I could just whittle them down and... Okay, so I may have underestimated their abilities and overestimated my own. But I made a plan. This is the plan. And look how well it works. This group had a bunch of different levels and different reaches, and there's this armor guy, but I'm getting pretty good at... Why am I jumping like that? Oh, I'm out of hunger. Okay, it's fine, but I was able to catch them at the gate. Yeah, but no, seriously, I was able to take them out once I got into the water, and the rest was a clean sleep with a nick or two here or there. But the supplies that this place had made everything worth it. In fact, with a nice secure area like this, and more resources than I could carry, I decided that this place could be a good home. Ah, home sweet home. When the sun came up on my new kingdom, I had the place pretty much cleaned out. I was a bit nervous that more guys would keep spawning, but they didn't, so I started setting up shop. I wanted to gather all the chests, and I made a chest room. But after the first chest, I found a secret tunnel. Secret is a secret. Okay, so you either get that or you don't. Like, it's like one of those jokes. But this tunnel had a jackpot. But it was a little bit too easy. Also, I heard lava. There was also... And I was right. Because, wow, imagine if I had fallen in this thing with no water bucket. That would be... I'd be dead. I'd just be dead. I dismantled it and I got to the diamond blocks. I spent the rest of the day just working on my chest room. I made some diamond armor before spending some time outside cleaning up some of the old residents and planting some sugarcane. But of course, just no mercy in this world, to be honest. I have been hurt too many times, so I gathered most of my important belongings and I went for a mining trip. While I was there, I figured I might as well make a flint and steel, so I just Alright, who did this? Who made this? Who made this decision? It's alright. Why? It's not alright. It's not alright. Why are there 3 different types of steel? Oh, and also there's that.
One of the facets of the present society which is new, and one of the facets that hasn't existed.
I figured out how to make the type of steel I needed by the next morning. It's a very long process, but now I had it. And I had my eyes set on the Ender IO mod. The main material that I needed to get was this infinity dust stuff. And I dug straight down, like you do, and lit a fire on bedrock. And now we wait. Popcorn's ready. I farmed up a few of these and I made some machinery while I was waiting. Then I headed back to see the damage. And it's not bad at all. There was this guy, but I mean, I know for a fact that it could have been way worse. But now I need to focus on the plan. And I had one, you sure bet I did. I wanted to stay above ground this time. The biggest threat to that was parasites popping up when I'm not looking. So my plan was simple. Turrets. Ladies and gentlemen, I had a dream. A dream of a base fully covered on the outside and inside by automatic protection. The turrets needed power, so that was what the machinery I made was for. I could only make a Sterling generator and an alloy smelter for now, but in order to start, I needed one more machine. I thought I needed gravel, so I spent like all day just running around looking for gravel, but it turns out I didn't need gravel. And then I made the sag mill. Gathering materials I needed and putting them through the process on these slow to low tier machines was just awful. I ended up like tearing up the ground of my castle because I was just too lazy to go get gravel, which it turns out I did actually need gravel. But I spent most of the day just crafting away nonstop. But you know, it's important to take a break and to nourish yourself. And I got these enderos, not sponsored by the way. So I thought I might just, expand my palette a bit, try something new. This right here is why you never go outside. We stay bitter and cold to the world, locked away in our own little like corner of the world, just leached in like sadness because the world is a scary place. And also I broke my shins. But I did get over it eventually and I went back to crafting only to be interrupted once again by another blood moon. I may have raised the chances of this happening a bit too much. You know what? I'm willing to admit when I'm wrong. I absolutely willing to take shared blame for me increasing the percentage. And the shared blame is with you, by the way. I made the decision and like did the action and you encouraged me with your views. So yeah. So like if you want me to keep like putting myself through this for views, then you should like the video or something. Haha, yeah. Smash like if you like puppies, or if you also like my pain. Yeah, I got you with that. Anyways, back to me just running out of materials and having to go mining again. I came up day 6 to do the perimeter sweep. I'll be doing a lot of these over the course of these days because of how fast parasites can spread if you're not looking. And later on, they'll create like entire biomes that can completely take over like the biome that you're living in, and it'll give them a bunch of bonus effects and everything. So there's no way I'm missing any beckons, which are the guys that spawn and like take over blocks. I was waiting for some materials to smelt, so I expanded my sugarcane farm, but it'll be a while before I can see the fruits of my labor. But speaking of the fruits of my labor, I had my first turret and base. And this isn't any like just basic like scrap turret. Oh no, this is the real deal. I was super excited to test it out, so I headed out to find some nice ethical guinea pigs. Yeah, these'll do, my old forbidden brethren. Bit of power and a small stack of ammo, and look at that! This is it. This is the invention I needed for some hope. Being able to feel safe in my own home is so major. I now stand a chance. But now that I know these things worked, I can move on to step 2. I need to seize the means of production. I need power. I only had a basic generator, and I had my eyes on the next one. I need enough power to produce more turrets, and also the power of the ones I already had. So my next big roadblock in doing that was obsidian. I needed other materials anyways, so I decided to just go mining. But not before I made a waypoint for my house so I could get back to where I was. There was another blood moon out, but it actually made it easier because there were a bunch of mobs on top. So not that many were spawning underground. At least I think that's how that works. But anyways, then I found these cool looking crystals. They looked important, so when I looked them up, I found that they were, shocker. But they were used in some really cool armor mod. And I need more of them to make the crafting benches in order to make the armor. So I just grabbed a few for now. And not too long after that, I found a lava pool and I got the obsidian that I needed. While I was so low, I figured I might as well grab some more infinity dust. Just gonna grab a bit of, okay, no problem. Just, place the water bucket. I'm just gonna place that water bucket. Okay, we as a group are going to move past that. And, hey, look, I'm crafting again. Look at me go. I had just about everything I needed except for one really important component. This dust requires eggs. Okay, yeah, that's no problem. I'll just head out and find a chicken, a common Minecraft animal. No problemo. It has been an entire day. I cannot find a single chicken. They are a lie made up by the government. They don't exist. Yeah, no, I just couldn't find them. Any. I found every other vanilla animal. I've never seen so many cows in my lifetime, and yet not a single chicken. But I did find a village, so maybe I'll make one of them lay an egg? Okay, that's a weird thing to write in the script. Just gonna move past that. Yeah, but no, I searched the village, nothing too notable. The blacksmith was, it had some items in it. They were a bit useful, but I didn't have enough space in my backpack. So okay, yeah, great. So I'm going to be running out of life pretty soon too, just like space. So there's that too. I need to hide very quickly. And I went to a random house to pick this one. And it turned out this house was actually really cool. It was like a laboratory. But I couldn't make any of the cool items, nor could I steal them from this poor villager. They disappeared literally every time I tried. The next morning, I made my escape. This town was completely overrun. But at least there weren't many parasites, so I gotta look on the bright side of things. I think that the parasites weren't powerful enough to kill and convert mobs yet, which is great until they do become powerful enough to convert mobs. And then at that moment, it will no longer be great because... Okay, so the journey continues, and the journey is literally already over because these guys right here are my absolute savior. They drop eggs. Still no chickens. Maybe these guys just take the spawn possibility from chickens, but I don't care. I waited all day because I just needed like one last egg for safety reasons. I don't know when I might need one, and you know, like, it's gonna be a long journey home, and my castle is it's right here. Okay. Day 11, I started crafting the dust that I needed. There was nothing too bad for the others, but hey, now I had everything I needed for what am I doing? Oh right, the generator. So I made it now, and I could put power to turrets and also power production. Yeah, this is really big, and I could already tell that the power was draining slower, and it actually had a surplus of power, which is I'm wasting a lot, so I had to make a tank to like siphon the extra power. And I also made like another like actual tank that I could use to as a new power source, because I wanted to switch to lava as fuel instead of just burning like stacks of wood that I had a lot of. But I'm a genius. I'm a real big brain, because instead of going down the mine, I just stole the lava from the lava trap that tried to kill me. Yeah, remember that? Now that's what we like to call in the business, you know, the business is what we like to call this thing that I'm doing. But in the business, it's like, this is like, so we call it a comeback. A callback. Oh my, the next morning I did my routine check of the castle perimeter, because there was a blood moon the night before. I was low on coal, and I spotted some just sitting in my castle walls. So I tore it into my home once again for resources. But don't worry, I replaced it. It's just really shameless, but the reason I wanted it so badly was because I was making these tables for the really cool armor. You know, like the crystals and everything, and I made the first level table, and I had everything ready for the second one, but I misread one of the ingredients. I needed to run the crystals through an infuser, and for that infuser I needed obsidian, and I was of course out of all obsidian that I had mined. So I had to go mining anyways. I tore apart part of my base for nothing. But it's fine, I found a path that led to a pool of lava, and also a cave spider spawner. Because it was a mine shaft. I hate mine shafts, alright? These little demons, these little devils from the pits of the underworld just crawl around with their tiny hitboxes, and if you get hit once, you're just done. I saw this and I thought, it's gotta go. I can't have this here. But you see, I have a tiny little monkey brain, so I just charged in, I stopped, and I opened the chest. I got distracted midway through my charge, and I opened the chest. So now I'm poisoned and I'm on fire because I got knocked down into the lava. I don't know. I got nothing. I was able to get out and run to safety.
Dio! ほう、向かってくるのか。逃げずにこのディオに近づいてくるのか。
Traumatized. Literally traumatized. I can't, it hurts. I hate Minecraft now. I hate it now. Another game, different game now. Different game. This is a non-Minecraft. This is an anti-Minecraft channel now. Because at least the dragons in our aircraft kills you instantly. This was just mean. This was just rude. But you know what? I got some diamonds. Yeah, diamonds. Shiny thing makes the pain go away. Makes the hurt, makes the... What is happening? Why is this happening to me? My existence is just one large L in the universe. But I just needed to take on this spider spawner. Alright, take, I don't know, what is this like? I'm going again, alright? And I made it into the pit this time, so it's going better. I broke the spawner. But of course, one last crew just had to come through and mess with me. But I managed to make it through and get the loot. I mined the obsidian and I got out. Day 13, I made the infuser and I threw some crystals in there. But I made a slight mistake. I didn't know that I needed lava, so I didn't grab any. But of course, always have a backup plan. I made sure to get enough obsidian for the nether portal, so I could get lava from there instead of going back to the mines. And yes, that was 100% planned. Totally not, just incredibly lucky. No sir, always got a plan. Anyways, I jumped into the nether. It didn't work. It just like, I spent like 5 minutes trying to figure this out, and I logged back out and I logged back in, and then it just worked. So yeah, that's great. The trip was quick. I just grabbed some glowstone, got harassed by these guys, super annoying and invisible for some reason. I grabbed lava and I smelted the crystals. I even went to grab another bucket for more power, but another slight error. I can't count. I can't do it. I missed 2 somehow. No problem though, I just jumped right back into the portal, grabbed some more, and lost it, and went back into the portal again, and got harassed again, and I made the table. I finally made the table, right? That's what all this was for. I made the table. But it turns out, most of the good armor requires you to have a level 3 table. And also, another small detail, about 26 nether stars, or 30 dragon scales, for like the 2 good sets of armors. Huh. Let's just we'll come back to that. We'll come back around to that, and we're gonna go back to making turrets now. All right, we're turret smithing now. All right. By the next morning, I had made some good progress, but I decided to take a break and look at improving my survivability. I had a bunch of books from the city, so I figured my best bet was to be enchanting. I was 1 obsidian short, and I'm lazy, so I'm just gonna borrow this. No judging in the comments, please. I have feelings and I bruise easily. But I did need to grab some sugarcane from my farm, greeted by my funny looking dog, but he had rabies, so I had to put him down. And I set up my enchanting area. I didn't have level 30 yet, so I decided to just wait and work on the turret some more. Late day 15, I finally had my second turret and turret base made. There was another blood moon, but I was just so excited I wanted to put them out right now. I just couldn't wait. And of course that didn't go well. But I did clear out most of my land, and I made enough space to set up my turrets. I put them in front so that they could help if anything got in, but also high up enough so they couldn't get blown up by like a creeper or something. Then I spent the rest of the night making ammo. But now that I have the turrets on the inside, I need to seal my base off from the outside world. I need a cozy little safe bastion that I knew was secure. The first step was mining lots of sand. I mean lots and lots of sand. Lucky for me, I live in a desert. But while I was scooping heaps of sand in my pockets, I was also smelting the materials to make wires. Instead of having a separate power source for my turrets, I was going to make a secure connection to my main source. Because once again, I'm lazy and I don't feel like constantly powering them. They would run about 1 layer underground so that they could, not be destroyed immediately, but also I could get to them easily. So, with all that in the works, it's just a waiting game. But by the morning of day 17, they were almost all connected. I was running low on resources at this point, mainly iron, that I used to make almost everything, so I decided that while the glass and wire materials smelted, I would go mining for a bit. I mainly wanted to get obsidian, so I headed back to the spot where I almost died, like, 3 times. Like, that was so long ago, though. Like, you probably didn't even remember, because it was so long ago, and, like, we've all moved past it as a group. But, when I got back, the materials were done, and I finished the wires. Now, I could finally move on to the renovations. And it was a blood moon too, so I was sort of able to hear my turrets like working and killing every now and then throughout the night. Hey, you know what I just said? Just kidding actually, I'm not working on the base yet because I still had a basic armor set and I wanted to get some decent armor and enchant it. I spent so much time working on the base benches that I decided to just go with obsidian armor from that one mod. But I did some math, and it'll take about 6 stacks of obsidian to make it all. That's a lot. I'm not mining that all. I'm just not doing it. So I found a little bit of a workaround, a little bit of a loophole in the system, an automatic obsidian farm that was pretty easy to make. I just needed to make a few blocks using the atomic reconstructor. But I'm out of coal again, so I had to go mining, and I was still low on other materials, so I ended up just mining for the rest of the day. When I finally came back to the surface, I made the blocks and I started putting everything together. But I am I'm a bit stupid. I'm a bit of a big dumb head. I'm a bit of an idiot. I cannot figure out how to connect these wires for the life of me. I just can't. And it's day 20 now, all right? This is, forget it. Forget that it ever happened. It's day 20 now. Let's just accept it and move on with our lives. But I, unfortunately, would not be able to move on with anything else for the next, day, except going into the nether, filling up a tank, and dumping it repeatedly in order to get power. I am literally in eternal pain. Someone please end my suffering. I did it. It's day 22. I worked through the entirety of all the Minecraft days, no sleeping. But it's all been for this gear. And hopefully surviving just a bit longer in the coming days. I really hope so, because this is so tedious to make. I cannot express just how much pain I felt going through the process of making this gear. But the obsidian armor, it gives you 1 less armor than diamond, but it gives you resistance 1. And once again, I hope it balances out, because this took a very, very long time. I also made an axe for a new weapon, which does more than a diamond sword, but has the same attack speed, so that's sick. I tried enchanting my armor, but I couldn't get anything good, so I ended up just using enchanted books I already had.
It must sort of yield to a kind of aesthetic unity, otherwise it's not in the realm of art, it's something else probably.
Now I'm done with armor. I need to prepare my base, alright? I need this place to be a fortress. I need to be sheltered. I need to be like a sheltered little baby, alright? A sheltered little baby sealed away from the rest of the world. Step 1 in this process is securing the walls. I thought about making a moat, but parasites are kind of absolute demons in the water. Just Olympic swimmers out here. They lunge at you, and it's really bad. So I wanted to make the wall itself even more reliable, even if it got broken. Lava. A layer of lava in the walls. I got some more lava in the tanks again, and I made a platform to place the lava. I finished the next morning, and now it's time to start placing lava. But it's a bit messy, and I literally cannot walk down there at all. So I used all my brain power to come up with a solution, and I came up with making a barrier outside. Yeah, it's not so bad. Not a bad solution, right? Now I can place my lava in peace, and I was done with phase 1 by the end of the day. I need a better entrance now, because this one just won't work. It's ugly and it's not very secure. But and let's just say initial plans fell through. So I had to improvise, adapt, and overcome. Not so bad. Yeah, it looks good. It'll do well against bigger enemies, but it needs more. A second layer of protection, just like my wall. And boom. Look at this fortress. Absolutely beautiful. I made another way to get to the top of the wall. Okay, so maybe, and just stay with me now, maybe putting lava right below the wooden, walkway was just not my brightest idea. Not a good idea at all. But the rest hadn't burned down yet, so I'm just gonna, just patch it up and just sort of look the other way. Because right now, I have more important things coming. The main feature of this base. The dome. This was the final layer of protection to create a safe environment where a little baby boy like me could prosper. With this seal, I will feel so much better, just completely, protected from every angle. The moment the dome is pierced, it's a sign that I need to make a final stand. But with my plans, that just won't happen. Alright, next day, slight problem with the dome. It takes just so many materials, man. Gathering the amount of sand that I need to make this thing is gonna take forever. Not to mention the fact that I need to smelt all of it and then place it all. Just awful. But lucky for me, I found something that'll make the building process just 10 times easier. I discovered the wand. The builder's wand, to be more specific. Having this thing was huge. This thing can place huge rows of blocks in one click. Easily the best mod in Minecraft to ever come out of the game. At least top 10. But the thing is that I still need to get the things, and in about 2 clicks it's gone. It seems like it's going a lot slower even though it's going super quick. And once again, I just did this for an entire day. It's day 29 now. And you know what? screw this. I know, I've had enough, alright? We have the technology. I added a mod, alright? I added the different furnaces mod because that was the main holdup of this like production process. And I just needed something to make this whole process a lot easier, alright? So now I can make better furnaces. Look at that. We got a whole bunch of them. And with my vast resources, I was making the best one. Ironically, it was, it was made out of glass. And wow. Yeah, okay, look at that. Look at the speed on that. In fact, I liked this so much that I wanted to make more. So I went mining because it turns out that my vast resources were in fact very finite. I was able to make 3 more furnaces by the next day. Yeah, that's right. I'm kind of killing it right now. With these furnaces, I'm turning sand into glass faster than Jesus turning water into wine. Call it bars, alright? That was so fire. Who wrote that line? Was that me? Did I write that? That's crazy. But now that I had that, I got a large load of sand and I threw them in the furnaces. Then I decided to make a small farm, you know, just a little bit of time away. Call me Thanos, you know, I just killed half the universe and now I'm just chilling on a farm, making a farm. But in all seriousness, I really just did this because I wanted the inside of the dome to become self-sufficient, just in case the outside world became uninhabitable. I started hoeing the ground, but I got these little guys. Yeah, cute little worms, the life of the earth, essential to the world. Never forget that, kids. Yeah, I'm not gonna front. I used to run over these things with my bike. When I used to run over them, and I cause they crunch, okay? Cause like when you run over them with your bike, they make like a crunching noise. And anyways, I spent the night gathering wheat seeds. I had a bunch of bone meal, so I used that to get the farm started on day 31. Then I completed the dome. The last bastion of hope was now born. And bossing say will never fall. I also had hopes of gathering some farm animals, so I made a little corner to put them in. The idea was that in 30 days there would be no more animals around me, so I should get them now, so I had my own supply. Slight problem with this plan. I never got animals. I literally never got one farm animal and put it in here. Just not one. This thing stayed empty the entire 100 days. So, yeah, there's that. But now that I have my base secured, it's time to venture outward. I need to see what supplies I could get from the abandoned cities and see if I can find some more factions out there. Factions that are pretty much cosplaying in the apocalypse. Kinda weird, champ, to be honest. But about 5 minutes into my scavenging trip, I get hit by a blood moon. Yeah, that's what I get. That's what I get for making fun of the apocalypse furries, okay? And you would think that I would go into a building and just hold up there. And you know what? I did. And it went like so bad. I just got jumped like the whole time. By the morning of day 32, I was doing pretty well though. I was cleaning up the leftover ads for XP, and you know, it was going decently. Then I decided to really just try and speed run buildings, sort of just like I was dungeon running. The chests in these places could have some really good stuff, like packed full of stuff. I cleared the city I was in, and I was fleeing to the next, and then I saw this weird underwater structure. So I thought, yeah, I'll go check it out, you know. What an absolutely horrible idea. The sheer amount of ads that were in here, just look at it. Not to mention that the creepers could just flood the entire hallway. Once I saw that there was no loot in here, I just got out and I went back to cities. There were really no problems while I was looting these places. Really easy loot, and the mobs were spread out far enough that I didn't really get backed up into any corners. Just no problems at all, just smooth sailing. More looting the next day. Some of the buildings were a bit more torn down in this city, kinda annoying, but nothing too bad. But as soon as I saw another blood moon, I bolted home. There's no shot I'm going through that. When I got home, I upgraded my gear with enchantments, but I couldn't get anything good. I kept like trying to get good enchantments by farming it. I just couldn't get anything. So I had to use more of the books that I had instead. So having experienced that disappointment, I started looking for spawners. I had been collecting a bunch of like broken spawners, so I figured I could make like actual spawners. And power spawners are the future. Get them while stocks are high. Or low. Yeah, invest low. Yeah. That's not financial advice. I think I have to say that now, else I get in trouble. But other than a new machine, it didn't look that bad to make. Like, after spending most of my life making turrets, this is gonna be cake. First, I needed some soul sand, so I hopped into the nether and instantly started getting shot by gas. Got returned to sender and wandered around for like 8 minutes before I gave up. Then I found soul sand, like 10 feet from my portal. That just needed to look right to the right of the portal. Yeah, just, man, I can just really not catch a break. Honestly, it's sort of actually impressive. But I got back and I heard parasites. I could smell them, alright? I did a round on my walls, and these little parasites, what's an insult for a parasite? These heathens, they were trying to get up the walls. Luckily, I had planned for this with my naturally generated walls that I didn't build at all. They do call me Big Brain. I heard that's what they call me around town. Next, me and my massive brain had to go mining. And it went well. Yeah, it went great, I'd say. When I came back up the next morning, I had everything set up. Everything was ready to make the machine I needed. And after I made the machine, the materials I needed to put into the machine itself were easy. Just small, like, tiny problem. Just, you know, like middle school. Really, like, just, you can, like, discard it, like, honestly. But, I had the wrong powder. You know that thing that, like, I, like, looked for eggs for a long time? Yeah, that. And, you know, another small detail. I didn't have the materials to make the powder. I needed rice balls or slime balls or whatever they are. I had no idea where to get either of those in my world. I just don't know at all. So I made the materials that I could. One of them, I needed a desert twig thing. So I just went out and I grabbed one. I just grabbed... Okay, so we have multiple problems now. They're starting to develop a little bit more. But like I said before, I just wanted to focus on what I could get. And I needed to grab another egg. And what do you know? Maybe I'll stumble onto some rice on like the way or something. But anyways, I did get the egg and there's just no way. This is it. The chances are so low. This is the turnaround, alright? This is the point where this series takes a turn for the better. Now all I needed is just some of those stupid twigs. And I figured shears would probably do the trick. But it's a blood moon, so I should probably wait until morning. What am I doing, man? What is happening? Like, what is going on? I understand that I'm stupid, but like how, you know, like what's the point where it's like you're too stupid? Like, what are you doing? I made the machine, and like I said, the materials from here on should be easy. Except I lied because I actually need an emerald, and that is the one material that I don't have. So it's another adventure.
Land is a joint venture of CBS and Sony. He admits that learning to make the discs took time.
Around She asked me which one I love the best. I tear open my shirt and show a Rosie on my chest, 'cause I'm a wanderer. Yeah, a wanderer. I roam around.
Oh joy. It's the Romans. Oh, and so many of them too. Why, Minecraft? You shouldn't have. It's not even my birthday. If you were gonna stomp on my toe, you could have at least waited until then. These guys, let me tell you about these guys. They were not an easy fight, alright? They can take some damage, and I don't mean, oh, they can, and I don't mean, oh man, they took like a couple hits. I mean, like, they took like, oh, this took like 3 more hits. This was such a difficult fight. No, I mean, I'm taking like in the 20s, 30 hits, extra more than I thought that they would be. These guys, my guys are built different, all right? They are built for tough, okay? But I'm smart. I'm sure, I think I've said that a couple times before. And also very extremely lucky, because this water right here, if this water had not been here, I would have been dead. There's no doubt. There are just so many of them. But I understand why, because the armor in here and the resources, never mind, this place is trash. But there is a lot of the armor that they had on, and it may just be because these guys are insane, but I took about 3 sets of the armor, just in case. But oh my god, forget everything else and look at these books. This chest and the chest on the outside has some of the best enchantments in the game, just sitting there. It almost made up for being snuck up on by this guy. And how many armors is that? How, there's like, what is that? What is that? It's like 5? Without this water here, I'm just dead so many times. My whole entire bloodline is gone, erased from the universe. And they were packed everywhere, all right? You open up one of these little things, one of these towers, and they come out of here like they're in a clown car. Just for why though? Just like, just so unnecessary. Like, why was there's not, why are you all here? There's too many, go away. But finally, midway through day 39, I cleared out the camp and I finally found the village. I was so relieved at this point that I just found the first trade that was somewhat decent, and I just, which was iron, and I just like sold him a whole bunch for as many emeralds as I can get. And let me tell you, it's a good thing that I did, because none of these villagers in this group would be alive till morning, because, surprise, another blood moon. No one's surprised. These things are happening every other night at this point. I did not set it to happen. It's just a high percentage. I am just this unlucky. But yeah, I held up in this little porch. Some creepers tried to get in, but I kept them at bay. There was this guy, but he didn't really do much long term. It was just a bit of a scare in the moment. Day 40, I looted another castle, and I don't know if I'm getting lazy or if these guys here were just better, but they were getting just an embarrassing amount of hits on me. Yeah, no, looking at this now, I was definitely just being very lazy with my spacing. It's sounds just like kind of sad to watch. I'm just gonna cut to the next day. I don't want you guys looking at this. Same thing day 41, except even more lazy, if you can believe it. I just took care of the guys at the front gate and just rushed the castle. You know what? It worked out really well, but this could have very, very easily been very bad, especially because my armor is running very, very low on durability at this point. Lucky for me, I made out like a bandit, and at this point my pockets were so full that I decided to just head home, only stopping to loot 1 boat on the way. I barely made it in the front door, but I did, and I spent the rest of the night sorting through my loot.
Then from this, we found that we could easily make 3-dimensional.
The next morning, I'm crafting that armor. Did you see how OP those Romans were? That could be me. I had all the armor made, and I started to take the enchantments off of my current armor. But I got a bit distracted. I made a gun. Parasites meet the Glock. Why did it do so little damage? Why do they just eat those? Why do they eat bullets? What do you do when the pocket rocket is just flaccid? And why did I even write that in the script? Why did I write that down? Also, the parasites are definitely spreading. They have upgraded at some point, I do not know when. But for right now, it's fine because I have bigger problems. After doing some testing, this armor is absolute trash. It's not even as good as diamond. But my obsidian armor is pretty much toasted, so I am not going to, farm up another set of that. So I spent the night looking for a solution. Duct tape is an option, but it's not a permanent fix. I just straight up need a new set of armor. And the best option that I found was mithril. But this stuff was not easy to find at all. It took me about an hour of searching before I found the silver that I needed to make mithril. It's because there are technically 2 different silvers, so I had to get rid of one in the configs and then mine to like a new chunk. And the point is that by the morning of day 45, I had a full set of mithril armor. But I used up all the XP I had on this trash armor from before, so I forgot. Guys, I forgot about the spawner. The reason I went out in the first place, the reason I needed emeralds, I just completely forgot about it. So, yeah, I started working on that again because I remembered. Like I said a while ago, the material... I'm saying this like you remember it. Like I said it a while ago, though, that like the materials that I need are super easy. And I had the thing super fast. I did have a small problem when it came to levels, but there was a blood moon, so I was able to safely farm some mobs throughout the night. I made the spawner no problem, but I heard some parasite noises coming from outside. It was just a blood moon, so I was a bit concerned, but when I went to the top, my concerns were justified. My worst fears had come true. The parasites had evolved to the point of flying. This is great. If you hate me, then it's great. But if you happen to like my survival, then this is bad news. Them starting to spawn? No, it's these guys that shred my armor. I was not feeling great about things, and I was also out of power. Just please, just a crumb of luck. Throw me a bone, Minecraft, please. I filled up on lava, and then I got to work wiring the power to where the spawner would be. Day 47, I started mining the area for the spawner to the best of my ability. What I mean is that I'm lazy, and this is as much as I felt like doing. I had most of it done, but then another blood moon hit. Now, normally I wouldn't care, but I just wanted to see the state of the parasites spawning. And there were a couple big guys, nothing too bad, but there were a couple. When the sun rose, I had a version of the spawner done. I know how to make an actual one, but this one would do for right now. I didn't need that many levels. I finished that up, and when I did some patrolling. And let me tell you what, the parasites here, they are literally at my doorstep and spawning somewhat regularly now. I just sort of spent the rest of the day cleaning off my front porch, and at the very least I wanted to make that safe so I could exit and enter my own base. But now, with the farm set up, I could finally put enchants on my armor. I've been wanting to do this since like day 20 or something. And I had some pretty good ones to put on there. They were the same ones from the Roman camp. Some of the best a man can get. Then I pretty much wasted the rest of the day farming for decent enchants. I really wanted lifesteal or maybe a higher level of sharpness, but nothing. Day 50. I started the day off right by making a diamond drill. I thought maybe it would be a better mining tool than like my diamond pickaxe, but I just forgot what I was doing and decided it was time to defend my territory for some reason. No idea what was going on there, but I decided it was time. Okay, so so you see what happened there is I was just messing around. I didn't think that it'd actually, get that bad. But we evolve, we learn, and I use my advanced monkey brain to outsmart the dumb idiot baby parasites. I just kept fighting late into the night. I have no idea why. I didn't write down a reason. Guess I just wanted to, whatever. But it was after this pointless violence that I had the idea to make my XP farmer better. Spike traps, and even better, poison spike traps. Yeah, these are the upgrades we need to survive. I even went a step further and actually made a small drop and a funnel to streamline the process. I spent the next day just sitting at my XP farmer, just farming experience. That was until the zombies just stopped coming. Turns out I ran out of power. Yeah, I forgot that that was like a part of this whole process. I just hopped in the nether and filled up some tanks. But once again, I'm getting very lazy. I just kept falling in lava for like no reason. And what's worse is that I didn't heal the damage. There was no reason that I didn't. I just didn't. And you know, that actually caused a slight problem. Who could have seen this coming? This is so unpredictable. This is so sad. Can we get 10 likes for this sad experience that no one saw coming? Except, you know, literally everyone saw this coming. You should still leave the likes though. I should, you know, after that, I should probably heal. No? Okay, I just didn't. I just kept eating the damage. I don't know if this was later at night or what, but I just didn't react to the damage. Like, I kept taking it and it kept building up and I just kept not reacting. Like, I'm cringing watching this back. But eventually I did heal and then AFK'd at the farm until the night of day 54. The only thing that worked me for my slumber was the fear of being taken over by stray parasites spreading. So I spent all night sniping any beacons in sight. I had gotten most of them by morning, but there was still one that was a little too far away to shoot. So I just jumped down, you know? I also wanted to see how my axe did against a couple of them. It's a 2-shot. It's great, but my spacing is still just bad in general. I've been flying a lot in these recent videos, so I've gotten a little bit lazy in my fighting. But I cleaned up the area and I headed back inside to spend all my levels I got farming for anything decent. I got like efficiency 4, which is cool because my pigs didn't have that, but other than that, I just wasn't getting any good enchantments. Which I needed because it's gonna get bad out here. I cannot express just how bad it's going to get. Literal parasite gods are going to descend on the earth, and my mid-tier enchants and puny arrows aren't gonna do anything.
The idea of doing it in ceramic and in 3 dimensions was particularly interesting to me because the symbols that I used are used to give 3-dimensional effect on a 2-dimensional surface.
I needed something more. Something with more oomph, you know? Like a little bit more pizzazz, you know? And also deadly. Rocket launchers, okay? I wanted rocket turrets. The process of making these is kind of a lot, which is saying something considering how many turrets I've made. But I could definitely do it. Working on it all throughout day 56, I was making decent progress. It's just a lot of waiting for resources to smelt. So while I was waiting day 57, I decided to go grab some of the TNT from the temple. You know, that dozen temple from like day 1 or 2, because I needed them to make rockets. But I spotted a couple of goons waiting outside my base. And you know, we don't tolerate heathens around my area, you know? We can't have that neighborhood value going down. And yeah, I could have just, you know, like gone around, you know, like went around them, but I sort of wanted to just like spam them down for entertainment purposes. I even went as far as to go and do this. And of course that didn't go great. And by the time I actually headed towards the temple, a blood moon was rising. But I couldn't wait. No, I just had to have it now. So I sprinted over there, nabbed the TNT, and just sprinted back home. And just look at the maneuvers I had to pull in order to avoid all these ads. But I made it, and it was just straight back to crafting. It wasn't until the night of day 58 that I finally had the rocket turret, and base, and some ammo. I had been thinking about where to put it while I was making it. And since it's my most powerful turret, I thought that it needs to be somewhere useful. So I decided to put it over my front door. Then I could have safe access to my home at all times. I had everything fully wired by the next day. Now I wanted to see this thing in action. Okay, yeah, my initial impression was, wow, that does as much damage as my axe. Then my second thought was, wait, did that just do damage to me? And yeah, I did some more testing and it does hurt me, but I think it's reduced damage. but it does really nice damage, so I call this a success. I watched a little bit more during the blood moon to see the area it could cover, and it does a pretty good job. The only problem is ammo. It's just so expensive to make. I just took it all out for right now. I figured I'd just figure that situation out later. I wanted to move on because that first turret was really just a prototype. Now that I knew it really worked, I could move on to the next phase of my project. The vision I had from the beginning of these 100 days. My ultimate base. Now I can finally start construction, day 60. I did two main things. One, I made little overhangs where the turrets could be, one on each side, and two, I made each of these towers a little bit more secure so I could hide a bit against the flying mobs, and I gave it a little bit of an overhang, and I made iron doors for security. Looking back on this, literally just thinking of this right now, I probably should have put trap doors or something in these spaces so that, well, you'll see later. I knew better than to just rely on the base above, and I knew what could happen in the worst case scenario. So I made one last resort bunker. It was in a sealed off cave very low underground, complete with 2 iron doors and regen flowers on the path in the cave just in case my health was low. I didn't want to have to resort to this because I lived underground in part 1 of the series, which you should check out if you haven't. Also subscribe if you made it this far in the video, it really helps me out. But I didn't want to live like that again. Hey, I'm in the Nether day 62. I'm gonna fight the Ender Dragon, I've just decided that. But I need to find the fortress first and all that stuff. The reason I want to fight the dragon is so that I can get its scales and make that really good armor I saw earlier. You know, that one that was made using the really upgraded version of the table I used to make my obsidian armor. So I'm exploring the Nether, and it's got a couple different biomes. This mushroom one, the one that I already know of, and I was mainly looking for here was the gas spawner. And you know what? I found one. Pretty easily. Which is great because I needed some gas tiers for one of the other armor sets. But what I didn't expect was this weapon. 16 base damage with only a slightly lower attack speed than my axe. I knew that if I can get enchantments on this thing, it would be insane. But for right now, I was focused on setting up a platform to farm gas. And looking back at this, what a horrible idea, just awful. And it was just so impractical most of the time. The gas got out of range, and sometimes they just blew me off the platform completely. Also, something I realized right now, I could have just broken the spawner, and I could have taken it back, and I could have had it powered at home. I just don't think of these things at the time at all. My brain just completely empty. Ooh, gas spawner, better make a 1-layer platform and fight them. Duh, stupid, just dumb. But whatever, I farmed this for most of the day, and I ended up with 6 gas tiers. Let's go 6 tiers. I farmed this for so long. That's man. Also, to sort of make up for that bad luck, I found a fortress. Yeah, it's great. I ran through it with not much trouble. Not too much in the chests. I did have a slight problem of every single blaze within 40-mile radius homing into my exact location at every second of every moment of my waking life, sending fire flaming balls in every direction at me. Like, please, someone send help, please. Like, why is this happening to me? But hey, I got 5 diamonds, so it's worth it. I got a hang on situation, and I got the rods, and I was gonna stay for a while so that I would never have to come back, but I hit a pigman. So that's just not going to happen. I am leaving immediately. I simply refuse to deal with the army of pigmen again in a 100-day series. I had everything sorted out by day 65, and the next order of business was checking out how much damage this hammer did. And it melted. It just shredded this big fella. That's crazy damage considering how little I do with my main weapon that I had sharpness 5 on. But I put that aside for now because, as you can tell, I can get sidetracked easily. So it's dragon time. Boom! We're in the fortress. And would you look at that? So are the parasites. Parasite horses mean that they've evolved again, so I need to find this thing fast and move on. But slight problem. I didn't. It's day 67 now because this stronghold was not only split by a ravine, but the portal room was actually in a secret area. Also, my hammer does this. Dragon time. Yeah, easy fight. I grabbed the egg and I got out of there. But I only got 12 skulls for that kill, which is not what I was hoping for, especially considering I need like 60. So that's like, what, 5 more kills, which is like 4 end crystals per kill. So the chances of that happening are not impossible, but it's gonna take a minute for me to decide if I actually want to do it. For right now, I jumped into the real end and grabbed some end city loot. The loot's always great here, so it's nothing new. Of course I grabbed the elytra, and the chests here were way better than in the actual fortress itself. So I was feeling good as I flew down to my portal. I also had a bit of a side quest going on while I was killing the ender dragon. I needed endstone to make a better sterling generator. Finally, I can make things faster. You don't understand. I need this, alright? I needed this. The pain that I've experienced smelting, the time wasted is unbelievable. Funnily enough though, I did have to wait for these materials to smelt. So in the meantime, day 70, I ran a few errands to make some progress towards the level 3 table for the cool armor. But as you can see, I have a decent amount of final resources here, and I just had some main components that I had to wait for. At one point, I just needed the main part. I was just waiting for each piece to smelt, just to smelt the next one after that. You may be asking, hey, Gray, why didn't you just make a second smelter? And at this point, it takes a lot of power, and also I just didn't. Got nothing else other than that. That's all I got for you. Anyways, it's day 72 now, still waiting for the final materials to smelt. I do have one small problem outside. My defense system, my towers, just don't work at all how they're supposed to. Yeah, the guys just fly right in. It's a big flaw. And it doesn't end there. These guys have just made a small problem way more urgent. My armor, almost gone, and I'm out of mithril. But have no fear, I have found a solution. You can make duct tape. When was someone going to tell me? When were any of you going to tell me that? This is literally just an instant solution. Because I was smart enough and I planted the rice that I had earlier. So I just grabbed some of that. And then I had all the tape a man could ever want. Healed my armor right up. And the good news just keeps coming. My last item was done. And I made my enhanced alloy smelter. Look at it. Look at how fast it smelts. It's so beautiful. I just need a moment. Now that I have that done, it's time to grab the last materials I need for my armor table. I need an underwater temple. But now that I have an elytra, so it's not going to be that hard. I said no crater flying, not regular flying. In fact, I'm already here. I had doors, so this thing was easy. I spent 3 minutes looking for the guardians just to kill them in like 30 seconds. With 2 gone and 1 to go, I'm feeling good. But we can't forget, the game does hate me. So I got stuck at a wall. I just got stuck, and I got like really stuck into this wall. I could not get out for the life of me. I have mining fatigue. I can't mine. My brain went dream mode. My health is going down. I'm just looking for anything to get me out. I filled up my hunger. I chugged my only gapple, and in a last ditch effort, I used my hammer left click. And I'm free. Just like that. Easy. Alright, after this traumatic experience, I killed the last guy right before the blood moon hit. I grabbed the gold and I flew home. And I just started crafting immediately. I farmed all of the obsidian I needed, and I had the table before sunrise. But after scrolling through the armors, I can't use the Enderman one, because I said no creative mode flying, remember? The underwater breathing one is useless. And the last one, it's actually really good. It gave you regen 2 constantly. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, just make that one. Just make that one. 30, just about 30 ender stars. There's just no way. This is literally the sword all over again. I'm just not doing it. I just settled on a really good bow for right now. Maybe I can try my luck later. I thought if I couldn't get God Armor, then I might as well try for Lifesteal. If I could get Lifesteal, then every hit with my hammer would fully heal me, because it's based off of damage. The problem? This game hates my guts, alright? I cannot get the enchantment. I did eventually get it in day 75, but hey, guess what? I wasn't recording. Here it is. Yeah, it's a pretty insane weapon, I'd say. I wasted the rest of my enchants, then I went outside to test it. Yeah, it's just as amazing as I thought it would be. And with this gear right now, I could survive during a blood moon. I eventually had to go inside, but it was definitely an accomplishment.
The CD player won't replace Frank Maioli's turntable, at least for now. He has too many old favorites to play. He knows he won't always have the option.
Day 67 is a throwaway, but also very important. I made a material list for all the materials that I need for each turret, including the base and ammo. I farmed so many levels day 77. I spent some and then I farmed some more. Why? Because I need to replace my living enchantment with Prod.4. The living enchantment is great for long term, but for 100 days protection is... Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, what the... Oh no, what the... I think I've got things under control. I rebuilt it. I don't... Man. I got all the protection exchanged on my armor, so let's wrap this day up as a win. Yeah. I literally feel pain. It's all okay now, so now I can focus on making turrets. I got a new enchantment on my pickaxe. Perfect for this. All I need is lava, an anvil, and a heart, you know? Then I could automatically smelt all the ores I mined. Easy. Well, it's time. Day 80, the amount of points the parasites need to level up has been drastically lowered. They get points for kills and a bunch of other stuff, and I'm still mining right now, but I've also got a bit of a scheme, a plan if you will. The flowers that are everywhere that bug me constantly, what if they didn't hurt me and instead hurt the parasites? Maybe I could make like a trap or something with water and whatnot. It was just a thought for right now. I was finally coming up day 81. That was probably my longest mining trip in a while. But I have the resources to show for it, and now I can start production. Okay, as you can see, the increase has taken effect. Okay, yeah, it's really taken effect, but nothing that's not nothing that's not calculated for. All right, we can chill now. We can chill with the evolutions now. That's enough. That's enough of that. All right, okay. So I'm just dead now. Who could have seen this coming? Who could have predicted this? It is max evolution. I am literally just I'm just dead. I'm just gone. But for right now, I calmed down and I made a full chest of all the crafting materials I'd need. But I thought I should take a look at the situation first. Ancient parasite gods. This is really bad. I took some pot shots with my bow and I was trying to see what I could do. And I could hold my own with my defenses. I could pick off the smaller, bigger guys and the bigger guys couldn't get in. But the number of advanced parasites was going up way too fast. By the morning of day 82, I wasn't dead yet, so that's good. That's that's always a nice sign. But I made a mistake. I got spotted. But I handled it. I could at least, do decent damage to them, but that wouldn't matter if I couldn't take down a god. So in the moment, I made a decision. I challenged one. But they don't play fair, and they don't work alone. One is a problem, and two is... The moment that I saw them break blocks, I lost all hope. My base was no longer a safe haven. If they wanted me gone, it was all over. I went inside and I started crafting turrets, but I think I was just coping because there was no way that these turrets could kill those things. So once again, I made a decision. Fight. My axe was doing amazing damage, my armor was holding up well, but I couldn't get close enough and my bow just wasn't strong enough. Hell was raining down from above, and the dome has been pierced. I don't know if I... So, I heard you want more ROcraft, and I want revenge. So why not both?
The idea of doing it in ceramic and in 3 dimensions was particularly interesting to me because the symbols that I used are used to give 3-dimensional effect on a 2-dimensional surface.